This horse just came in and for a quick refresher, I guess you'd call it, and she's getting ready to go do some trail riding, and the horse has got to be quiet for the lady that owns her to be able to get on and off safely. So that's what she's here for, is to help her through this attitude that she has right now, and to remind her of how to get, because the horse is broke, but she's fresh, and she's fat, and she's frustrated, and it's springtime, and she's been eating all winter and doing whatever she wants to do, and now it's spring and they want to ride, so now we've got to come to some kind of an agreement where the horse is willingly taking advice from a person, and that's not real high on her list of priorities right at the moment. She's pretty frustrated just because she's here. So as soon as I opened that door, she was there ready to come busting out. So I just did what I needed to do to get her to step back. And those steps backward are going to go a long ways in helping her to be able to accept what's going to go on here as soon as we get her out of this stall. But she just standing there flipping her head, and it wasn't getting down to her feet, so I needed to do enough to get it to her feet. And when she moved her feet, then there was a switch that goes off in her mind of, oh, I better listen, I better pay attention. But if I don't get it to her feet, then all I do is teach her to bob her head and act, in less than becoming ways. So, get my halter ready here and go ahead and place it on her. I love for a horse to be in good condition, and I like to look at horses that are, plump and and pretty and all that just as much as anybody, but the behavior that comes with that is less than becoming. So I'm going to go ahead and go out in the arena, just tie her up here and groom her and put the saddle on her and work with her here. So as I'm leading her, I'm not just leading her, I'm paying attention to where she's thinking, where she's looking, and she's not doing too terrible right here at the moment. She's doing all right. So I put a little bit of this stuff on. It's a dry shampoo, and this time of year it's pretty nice to help get the dirt off of them a little easier when they got all this winter hair still hanging around. That stuff doesn't want to come off as easy as it will. Let's get a place cleared off there for the saddle. See, all that movement right there is unnecessary. All I'm doing is putting the saddle on here, and she's sticking her head out through the fence and using that for an excuse to move her feet. She's looking outside. She's sure not paying attention to me, so I have to be careful here. Careful because she might respond in a way that I might be in the line of fire. She might try to push into me, or she might, who knows what, because she's just not very comfortable right here. She's frustrated because she's not outside grazing with her friends, She doesn't see the point in why she needs to stand here and act like she's broke. So this is very typical of early springtime horses that haven't had much done to them in the winter. Probably not used to having a back cinch on either, so I'll put that on. And sometimes that creates a lot of fireworks, just the fact of having a back cinch on. Now see, with that foot there behind her, I'm gonna pick it up, stretch it forward to get that skin to relax underneath that cinch. There we go. All right. Now then, I'm gonna get a flag. I don't know if this horse knows how to come up to a mounting block or a fence or anything, so we'll work on that as well. Just gonna find out where she's at first. Taking her out here and see how well or not she's gonna listen. She started off pushing on me there a little bit, and when I moved her away, she kind of tightened up. If you was on her right now, you'd be thinking, boy, I wish I wasn't on her, because tight as a banjo strings. Just puffed up there growling around. She ain't done anything terrible, but she's obviously not very comfortable. Get that shoulder opened up like I talk about all the time. There, stand there and growl a minute. I'm gonna change direction. Unnecessary overreacting. Just let her travel around. When she looked outside, I put some effort towards that stirrup. I step across here, she ain't paying any attention to me. Faced up there, I didn't want her to face up, run over me. Get over here, pushing on me with her shoulder. There. Now I'm gonna let her rest right there. Even though she's not 100% with me, at least she yielded her body, and she's not thinking about moving her feet. So, because she's puffed up like a swelled up like a toad, I probably need to tighten the saddle up there a little bit before I go on, or it's going to be underneath her round belly. Now I send her forward. Starting to think a little bit now. She's not overreacting. She still got a kink in her tail when she stopped there. And when I asked her to back up, she ran through me and ran just like she did again. There, just ran through me. She needs to listen to me. She's trying to call all the shots here. She needs to get over there and do what I tell her to do, instead of just grabbing hold of the halter and taking off and doing what she thinks she needs to do. When she comes into my picture and she does the thing that I want, then it's up to me to let her feel the peace that come with it. But when she just braces and runs through, if I stand there and watch that, that's basically telling her to go ahead and do whatever you want to do. Now she's putting a little more thought in how she's moving her feet. Pretty nice. Head's coming down. She's relaxing. Thinking a little bit. Send her around here Just get stopped over here on this left side again. Very good. Just get a step backwards there. Very good. Just change direction. Better. Nice. What's nice and what I'm saying better about it, she's not just flying out of there. She's listening. She's responding instead of reacting. She's thinking, kind of thinking, instead of just being tense and overreactive. This is a much better frame of mind than what we started with. And then I've been able to soften up considerably because of her starting to think. And I haven't just wore her out physically, but between her ears and her thought process, she was not gaining a thing by being hyper emotional. She wasn't gaining anything by overreacting, but she's gained a tremendous amount by starting to use some logical thought, starting to soften up. She took 3 steps through the stop right there. I told her to stop. She saw me. She acknowledged that she saw me. She kind of thought about stopping, then she said, I don't believe him. I'm going to run through it. So then I did whatever I needed to do to get her stopped. Let's go forward here. Get stopped right there. Much better. Now you see that's a real good attitude. Head come down, softening up. Steps I didn't tell her to take. All that was about getting this shoulder picked up, having her step backwards, and moving her shoulder away from me as she was backing up. The reason that I do that is to establish a little more respect, get this horse thinking a little better, get her responding instead of reacting. Pretty nice there. I'll pet her with this flag. The flag is not her problem. Her problem is between her ears. Okay.